Yeah, gotta love the politicians with all this legalese, writing all these laws that take away our freedom, like down in Texas. And Driving and Vibing there got an interesting little video here up. Apparently, it's been introduced in the state legislature. It hasn't passed, but it's been introduced, a bill that would basically make it a criminal offense to camp overnight in, say, a Walmart parking lot, okay? Any person who commits an offense, if the person intentionally or knowingly camps in a public place without the consent of the officer or agency having the legal duty to or authority to manage the public place, could be hauled off to the hoosegow or given a ticket or something. I don't know. Mr. Driving and Vibing says it's a very weird. Oh, excuse me. It's a very weirdly, vaguely written law. But basically, you cannot overnight shelter in a public parking lot or a private parking lot, you know, with a Walmart or whatever. And that includes, sheltering includes tent, tarpaulin, lean-to, sleeping bag, bedroll, blankets, or any form of shelter, which could easily mean any kind of trailer, a car, anything that's used as shelter other than clothing designed to protect a person from weather conditions that threaten personal health and safety. So basically, almost anything if you are, spending the night in any form of shelter, whether you're homeless, at least sleeping in a box, or whether you are living in your RV and parked in front of a Walmart parking lot, theoretically, you are breaking the law. So this would be the whole state of Texas. Again, this has not been made into law yet, and many times these bills that come in, that could either get vetoed or changed significantly before it's actually, made into a law, or the governor could veto it or whatever, who knows. So it's not a law yet, but it does basically go amongst the line of thinking that more and more jurisdictions around the country are making it harder and harder and harder to overnight boondock in various parking lots or on city streets and stuff like that. Okay? And Texas is taking a step in that direction. Good old Texas! Good old Texas is taking a step in that direction to make it more difficult for you guys to spend the night. And whatever. So anyway, it does. The Texas bill would criminalize it, but it hasn't passed yet. And I'm sure we'll hear more about this if it does pass or gets close to passing. And all the different, political groups will, try to influence the Texas senators and stuff. And you can too. Just write to your favorite Texas senator, state senate, that is, not Mr. They'll write Ted Cruz. He's a federal senator. State senate. Anyway, so okay, we'll let you know. And I'm sure Driving and Vibing will keep us up to date on it. Good channel with all the latest legalese stuff affecting you guys on the road. All right, new one from Lex and Riot here. That's Lex, that's Riot. And Valley Fever. It is a legitimate fungus that's out there in the desert areas, blown around by the wind and the dust, and it causes a lot of nasty respiratory effects. Pets can get it, you can get it, it can make you really sick, it can be nasty, it can make you feel like you got the flu most of the time, Anyway, and especially if you're not used to the area, if you're going to places like southwestern Arizona, if you've never been there before, your body's not used to it, and it can really make you sick. And yeah, so, the fungus among us. She goes through a lot of the stats and stuff about the virus, and good to know if you're going to be out there in that area camping and whatever. So, yeah. Don't get your valley fever. Don't get your valley fever. Don't get valley fever, but, wear your, you know what? Maybe that's a good reason to wear your mask, even when you're not around other people, when you're in the desert. Less fungal spores. Yeah. Hey, everybody. We got a nice, I'm getting a lot of cool stuff from you Camo Army people. The Camo News Army people. We were talking about Living Free Mike and what his plans are, and I've gotten some emails and texts and stuff from folks who seem to know Mike and have pretty much said he is done with YouTube and going to try something else with his life. And we're getting some more information to that effect. So far, he isn't really planning to RV anymore. He does have some ideas how he wants to spend his time in the future, but nothing concrete yet. Honestly, I feel he's making decisions based on his emotions right now. I can't say too much, but that's what we're hearing. So, again, we've heard that from a number of other people about Living Free Mike. He's taken his channel down to about 14 videos, and he hasn't posted anything in many weeks now, and he hasn't really done much at all since Sober, his beloved doggy, died back on the 2nd of February. But yeah, I was saying this morning that I thought he'll pop back on one of these days, because a lot of these people say, hey, I'm quitting YouTube, and then they really can't. They give it a couple weeks or months and they're back. But so far we haven't seen any. We've seen Mike out there camping out with his friends like Randy the Mobile Traveler out there in the LTVA thingy there in southwestern Arizona. So one of our sources did tell us that Mike was planning to go back to Minnesota and seek his fortunes there. That's where his friends and family are, so we'll see. I will keep you updated. TA Outdoors builds a tunnel shelter using trash bags and sleeping out for 24 hours out there in the British wilderness and eating a Norwegian military meals ready to eat MRE solo overnight. So you can build a shelter with trash bags. He is the British Steve Wallace, I think. Anyway, so a cool video from him. Check him out. TA Outdoors. Got an interesting one from Mr. Woo there, Adam the Woo. He's giving us some financial advice there. Apparently, he is not only a Disney freak and wants to go and check out lots and lots of Disney things, all the Disney parks and everything. He's also investing his money. He's putting his money where his mouth is, and he is. Let's try this one again. Hey, we got a new one here from the Daily Woo, Adam the Woo. He's not only a Disney aficionado. He's not just loves going to Disney parks and Mickey stuff and everything else, but he's putting his money where his mouth is, and he's talking about investing in the company Disney. Now, Disney is a huge media company. They own ABC. They own a whole bunch of cable networks like Lifetime and stuff. They own ESPN, and they're a huge media conglomerate. They own television stations in many markets. It's a big media company, so it's a lot more than just the Disney amusement parks. So Adam's going to be investing his hard-earned YouTube money corporately and buying stock in Disney. And he gives us a big explanation as to why he's doing that. And he's hoping to build up a nice retirement savings for when he retires in 20 or 30 years. So there we go. There you go. Adam the Woo, Mr. Money. The Academy Awards, the Oscars, are on April the 25th. There is talk. Apparently, there's a lot of politics in the Oscar voting, okay? We've been seeing a lot of articles about whether Nomadland is going to win Best Picture. I personally think it has an excellent shot to win Best Picture. It was a very good movie. It's been a weird year. A lot of movie theaters were closed this year because of the pandemic. It's been strange, but I think of the movies I've seen, it's been a very good year. Mank also was a good movie there. Netflix. That was a Netflix-only movie about Mr. Mankiewicz, who wrote the screenplay for Citizen Kane. That's also a damn good movie. That could be Best Picture too. But Nomadland I kind of like better. However, politics always comes into play when it comes to stuff like this. And Nomadland did give a very positive impression for Amazon. Okay, a lot of people are very mad at Amazon because they say the warehouses are not not friendly places to work in. Anyway, it's not good working conditions. They don't get paid enough, etc., etc., etc. And of course, the Nomadland movie made the warehouse look pretty nice where Fern was working. So there's some people saying, well, that's a reason not to vote for it for Best Picture because it kisses Amazon's Butowski, so to speak. I don't know, man. So there's some reason to think that because of that political element, that Nomadland may not win it for Best Picture, even though it probably was the Best Picture. So, isn't Hollywood wonderful? Letters, 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 letters. Jason is smart, says I should go undercover and then go to the Homes on Wheels Alliance and have a van build done and do some great undercover video content. Shave my beard off and don't wear camo. I'll wear golf slacks or so. I don't know, man. What's it like to have a van build from Hawa? Brian Heffernan, big news. Sheetz is opening in Columbus, Ohio. Okay, this is Sheetz. It's a big gas station with a big mini mart and very clean restrooms and very friendly people and actually pretty good food for what it is. And they are based in Pennsylvania, and they are expanding all over the East Coast. And they are down here in North Carolina now. We were over in Winston-Salem the other day. There's a Sheetz there. There's one over there, Hickory and Statesville, which is not far from here. They're very nice places. Nice place to stop off when you are on the road. And they're all up and down the East Coast now. Pennsylvania, Virginia, North Carolina, and they're moving out to Ohio. So, yeah, it's expanding. It's growing like a fungus. Carol West says if NF, I guess that's Derek Eric, if he decides to sell his vehicle, he's modified it a whole lot, and he's probably going to lose money on it. Again, he has financed it with Buy Here Pay Now down in Texas, and he doesn't own the vehicle. He doesn't have the title on it. Obviously, he's still paying on it. I guess he could work out some sort of a deal to pay off whatever loan he has on the vehicle, and then sell it that way and get the title. I don't know. He's made a lot of changes in it, and can he ask a good price with all the changes and modifications he's done on it, which not necessarily have improved the saleability of it. I don't know. You know what? It's oddly compelling, and stay tuned. We were talking about Black Bigelow this morning and about we're going to cheap gas outlets with long lines versus a little more expensive places that don't have long lines. Beaver Den says, I'm not waiting in line for cheap gas. It's probably watered down anyway, and the tanks are full of trash sediment. I'd rather pay for quality gas, knock on wood. Maybe this is why we don't have our vehicles break down all the time like other nomads. Full-time on the road for nearly 5 years and only minor vehicle issues. Plus, we drive old vehicles. Last RV was a 1988, and this one's a 1992. My van is a 1998. Older is better. Steve Carlson says he misses Brian from Columbus, co-hosting my live chats. I do too. I thought I had a lot of fun with Brian there the week and a half up in Northern Virginia. Steven says, Doxinator used to be fun, but Brian is much funnier. Well, I'm going to be hanging out with the Doxinator soon. One of these weekends, I'm going to head down to Rock Hill, South Carolina, and we're going to do some live streaming together. And I think it'll be just as much fun with Brian as with Brian. Finally, Beantown says, Dave, is it true that you do not know what the date is? And is it also true that you do not care what the date is? It's very true. I don't know what the date is. I don't care what the date is. Whatever the date is. I don't know. It's it's April 15th. It's not tax day. Don't worry, at least federal tax day. Hey, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. You have a wonderful rest of your Thursday. Vlog under.